Yo, what's good? What's good? Grand Rising. Each and every single one of you guys. Everybody, go ahead and drop what cities you guys are tuning in from. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Each and every single one of you guys. We are getting the stream started. Go ahead and drop what cities you guys are tuning in from. Shout out to Safe in the chat. Morning, good morning. It is time to get started. It is about 9:45. Definitely excited to go over the week with you guys. So this morning we did have core retail sales come out. Core retail sales and retail sales. One of the first things I would like to look at is the fundamental news events. Anybody look at core retail sales lately? Let me know in the chat box. Drop a 1 in the chat if you are in trades at this current time. Drop a 2 if you have not taken any trades. Just want to see a little bit of a roll call of how we're headed into this morning. Where's everybody at? Where's everybody at in the chat? Don't tell me you guys are sleeping. But core retail sales and retail sales, this is the change of total value of sales at the retail level. So when it comes down to it, any retail sales, this this actually came out lower, which would not mean good for the dollar. What's crazy is at the beginning of the week on Sunday, we were looking for early week dollar sell-offs to potentially start buying back later on. Now looking at where we're at, I don't know if we'll start buying back. I don't think if the dollar reacts here. I think we got our reaction already. I think the bearish side actually played out. GBP USD to continue towards the upside. I think whatever buys you guys can get on gold would actually be great. I'm actually bullish gold and bullish the GU. So let's say, I'm not gonna lie, this morning at around 8 o'clock was that entry right at the zone over here. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a trade setup that I've been calling all week in the Discord chat, in the trade alerts. I was calling the GU ever since we were down over here. So everybody that is inside of the premium, all of my premium members, drop a 3 in the chat as well, because if you're a part of the premium, you guys got this idea way ahead of time, way before anybody saw this. So regardless, you would have had the outlook and you would have had this entry lower over here. Now, a lot of people didn't catch that entry, so today we got one last retest, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go ahead and break these highs and actually continue towards the upside here for GBP USD. So that's GBP USD for you guys. Any retest we can get maybe down back to that 1 hour down lone candle. Right? If we can actually come back down one last time, you know, the market never truly leaves you behind. So we really want to continue in that direction and not really fold against it. Let me go ahead and change this music. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna get some copyright if I keep playing that type of music. That's one of the things that's on the downside of YouTube. You can get copyrighted if you are playing the wrong music. Gold though is still kind of stalling behind, so any entries you guys can get upside on gold, even a position here, even a position that is this 15-minute candle here, can run you somewhat of a 1 to 5 just by watching the breakout here on gold. Honestly, there's no imbalance left behind. The market has completely basically filled all inefficiencies. You know, this. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually just keeps running from here. And this is our low. So GBP USD and gold, I'm not gonna lie, we've been calling buys for a minute, right? So it didn't actually play off of our higher zone. Here's one thing to pay attention to. I always usually mark 2 zones whenever I'm getting into the market. I usually would mark a higher zone just in case the market doesn't retest fully, and then one if the market retests fully. And that was the one right here. I think our confirmation for entry would have been this 1 hour candle. You could have gotten around the 1 hour candle. Continuations across this pair also look great as well. I'm not going to really like force an entry today, but I really do like the price action on setups for gold towards the upside. So that's that. GBP USD is also kind of just chilling. Let's go ahead and look at Euro USD real quick. Euro USD also making that move towards the upside. Very, very expected. Very, very expected. It actually came back down to retest this demand candle down here. So it makes sense as to why this pair is actually continuing towards the upside. Honestly, this would have been an 8 a.m. entry. We definitely could have been paying more attention at around 8 a.m. One thing I do want to point out as a case study as to how we kind of enter the market, we do like to look for that 1 hour demand candle to enter, but we also do look out on the lower time frames for these entries. And if you didn't see it on the 1 hour, you could have probably saw it here on the 15-minute. If you look, it wasn't quite confirmed. It actually was confirmed by volume. So this was that live OB, that candle where we swept liquidity, and then we created a down candle, new engulfing towards the opposite direction, and then we created it on higher volume. So that candle not only engulfed the previous candle, but it closed on higher volume. Whenever we see candles that can engulf like that and close on higher volume, then you might as well just take them. You might as well just take them. I'm just letting you guys know, just in case I'm not around when you see these types of plays. Because these types of plays happen way more often than you think they would. And also, it's also about having eyes on the market when it happens. And sometimes they happen so fast and react so fast that you have to literally just execute, set, and forget it, and just let it ride. Because as you guys can see, if you would have entered just purely off of here, on the retest of that engulfing, the risk to reward is great. 1 to 5, 1 to 6. But I probably would have ran my risk to reward 10 pip stop. So I probably would have been up 1 to 3. So if you're kicking yourself for missing this setup, there is a possibility that you would have took it with this risk to reward here. But I probably would have actually extended my stop out a bit more to like 10 pips. So I would be up like 1 to 3. There is a possibility for a 1 to 5, 1 to 10 scenario here. So it won't retest as much anymore. I'll tell you that. Every single retest that it gets is probably going to be lower and lower. So pay attention to the demand candles. There's also one here. These are what's called flip zones. So for some reason, if, the candle down here at the bottom range doesn't quite get retested, we can also catch an entry here at the top of the range, retesting that flip zone, right? So there's such thing called flip zones. These flip zones help you identify possible re-entries just in case the market doesn't actually give you a full 80-90% retracement. Some of you guys are like only looking for the 90% retracements. And if it's not retraced all the way, then you're gonna start fading the market. But we're entering certain market conditions now, and the times that we're in the fundamentals, that some pairs might just continue in their directions forever. Some of these entries will continue for a long time. So, especially if it's a true accumulation like what it's doing right now. If this is a true accumulation and we break this next level that we're headed to, which I think we will as well, I don't really like sells on Euro USD. So I think we do end up breaking above here as well. It's really early to tell, but I do believe this is an accumulation starting to play out. And I do believe gold is also an accumulation starting to play out. Did anybody take gold at that 15-minute engulfing? I would have took it. I should have took it, truthfully. But I was not trying to rush anything. If we look at the fundamental events for the rest of the week, guys, it's not only just today. We do have unemployment claims on Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Unemployment claims is basically the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. Understand, unemployment is a big number, is a big actual release that can really shake the market, because think about it. The more people that are not working and filing for unemployment, that is less money that can be put into other things, and people are just not working. Imagine that. If you owned a government or an economy, and nobody wants to do anything and just get paid, right? Not saying that's the case for everybody, but unemployment numbers makes a lot of change in the market. And understand, this is expected to come out lower. This actually would mean worse for the dollar as well. So if we do come out lower for the unemployment claims, dollar would actually continue down. So I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the high here on the DXY. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, we're headed into some demand, but you guys see there's not really any reaction coming off of this. I haven't really took any entries coming off of this. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually were just swiping some liquidity. And now, let's take some of this off. And now we actually just come down and just go straight towards the downside. That's probably the direction I would lean towards now. I wouldn't try fading this high over here. That's just my 2 cents after seeing what's going on. If we want to react here, then it's going to have to react sooner or later. If not, then I'm sending it all the way down to these lows. I would send it all the way down. Understand, the market just needed to grab some sort of liquidity before it actually continues down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a high right here that sticks for the rest of the week. Let me get back to music. Any song requests though? Any song requests? Shout out to my guy Marcus Iverson. I'm not sure if any of you guys took the gold. I really did want to take gold as well. Even this imbalance fill over here. You're definitely chasing the market at this point, right? If you're getting in any of these entries, understand you are chasing the market. And I'm not going to chase the market. I like to get in on things when they're already down. Next time we see gold down, we're striking it no matter what. And anybody that's in the premium, you guys know we've been looking at striking this thing. And since GU is already gone and EU is already gone and gold is slowly going, gold has not broken the highs. GU did. So it's probably too late on this one. But I'm telling you guys, retests will come. Retests will come. Another pair that I like to trade during times like this is US oil. I put out a tweet the other day. And I tweeted on Twitter. I was like, oil is under $80. We won't be under $80 for too long. And I knew we were kind of gonna look in the bullish direction of oil. Let's look at the sessions. This could have been a good 8 o'clock trade. Just seeing how we were retesting over here. Could have easily took some continuations on oil. We slept. That's all it is. That's all it is. We definitely slept on the 8 a.m. entries. Sometimes you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick with it. But as long as you have directional bias intact. We're in a wake up and buy market for some things. Has anybody ever experienced, you know what? Quick trivia How long have you guys been in the markets or trading as a whole? Drop in the chat. Drop in chat. How long have you been trading? I need to know. I need to know. This is important. This is important. This has nothing to do about how good you are. Some people can be good, right? Some people can be good, but it doesn't matter, right? None of that matters if you do not have time in the markets, right? Time in the markets. Let's look it up. Here it is. Beats timing the markets. Okay, here we go. I like this graphic right here. Invest early and often, right? Remember, time in the markets beats timing the market. So this is just an example, right? This is just an example. Hopefully nobody on here, this is their name. So Tiffany, terrible trader. Brittany, perfect trader. Sarah, steady, right? So the thing is, Tiffany, she's probably trying to time the market. Sarah has more time in the market. She's steady, right? I'm gonna try to get a better one. The thing is, Sarah has been taking it slow, and she hasn't been trying to time the markets. There's a better one. Why time in the markets beats? Here it is. Here we go. It's about time in the market, not timing. So there's always good timing to get into trading. There's always great timing whenever you're getting into trading. Things like oil, gold, Euro USD. Right now is a good timing to get into these swing entries. But time in the market beats timing the market. So you have to remain consistent when it comes down to it. And by remaining consistent, you get to see cycles playing out. So for my guys that have been here for a long time, Omar, Marcus, right? You guys remember certain cycles that happened, right? Especially like about a couple years ago. I would say 2018, right? 2018. Let's go back in time. 2018, right? 2018. You remember when oil started dropping and like everybody was selling oil, right? And this was a continuous trend. Like I think when I got started trading, nobody was even talking about buying oil. Everybody was talking about selling, 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 selling. Everybody and their mom was talking about selling. Like the whole community was like dropping sell charts on oil. And now it's come to a time where it's like now that with the timing that we're in the market, anybody that is a good fundamental analyst. You're probably looking at oil and you're like, yo, oil, weekly new candle. We're looking below $80. Same with GU, same with EU. We're getting ready for big fundamental changes in the market. We're getting ready for the dollar to like literally make a high. For you guys that don't understand what that means assets literally fly with the dollar dropping. What would the dollar do now when people are taking money out of the dollar and the dollar has no purpose? Where would people put their money that has a purpose? If they lose purpose in the dollar, where would they put their money? Drop in the chat. I want to see if anybody is aware. Where would people put their money if they start taking it away from the banks? Start taking it away from dollars. You have money and you have it in form of US dollars. If you were a $1 billion hedge fund and you're taking your money outside of the dollar, where would you put it? I'll let you know where I would put it, but where would you put it if you were a $1 billion hedge fund? And this is not a trick question either. What would you do, like, if you were them? There's a lot of theories. Gold, Bitcoin. That's what I'm betting on. I'm betting on gold and Bitcoin. So yeah, gold and Bitcoin are what I'm betting on. There are other things that they get into, like oil, right? Assets and commodities. That's the main premises. Assets and commodities. Let's look at corn, right? I don't even trade corn. I never really even trade this. I've never even touched this in my life. But I know this thing is probably about to start getting higher prices. The thing is, this is not something that has as much use case as it had before. People used to trade corn for like weapons. Back in the day, do you understand why the corn market is still alive? Because there are wealthy individuals that own a lot of this stuff. That probably own a lot of this stuff from generations and generations on. And the investors, they're going to continue to hold onto corn. Especially with the US dollar starting to collapse even more. Wouldn't be surprised if pricing starts to go higher in here as well. And you guys can also trade this on the future side. So don't be shy. I think corn this morning looked like a great entry as well. 8 a.m. Look at the risk to reward on this setup. I'm going to look at YM, Dow Jones. I'm going to look at the stocks. It is getting closer to 10:30. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to hold you guys for too long. I do want to see a retest on gold and possibly continue towards the upside. So if you're still looking, let's get a retest. Solid retest. Solid retest would definitely sell me on getting in. Whatever we could get. Back to the indices, right? Let's go ahead and look at the NASDAQ chart. NASDAQ does look great as well. It looks like we did create a 4-hour candle towards the downside. I do believe that that will probably get wiped real soon. We did react very good off of this 30-minute candle. I wouldn't be surprised if this 30-minute candle actually closes towards the upside, to be honest. US 30. Let's look at YM. Probably one more wave up. I wouldn't be fading the indices. That's my thing. If I fade them, even though we fail to break a new high today, a lot of people may see this and it's probably like, okay, I want to sell now. I want to kind of stab the other way. Me personally, I would actually just remain bullish. I really hop on here every single day just to let you guys know to remain bullish, right? I want to emphasize the fact to remain bullish, to not second guess yourself out of these phenomenal entries. I mean, wow, I can't even believe that we caught some of these dollar sells on Sunday. I just don't even I just didn't even think that that would even play out. But when you guys understand time in the markets, again, I'm gonna go back to time in the markets versus timing the markets. When it comes down to it, when we come on here every single day, we do try to time things. But it's hard to literally time things down to the pinpoint, as you guys could see. There's a lot of different timelines that happen in the market. I'm showing you guys all the way back from 1980. From since 1980, we've had maybe like 14, 15 different major astronomical collapses and rises. And those were great opportunities to capitalize off of, as you can see. We're capitalizing off of those by timing the markets. But it doesn't always beat time in the markets. All right, let's get back to it. DXY. We are wiping some of this here. Let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. I do believe we retest, but at the same time, we don't have to. So I don't want to like force a retest. We probably retest down one more time and then continue up. So just letting you guys know, we probably get one last dip and then it's gone. We didn't get any last dips on GU, so I guess let me make sure that I'm connected just in case we have to take a trade. Cause it's looking all right. It's looking all right. We do wanna stay patient, but at the same time, if an entry is there, an entry is there. Maybe this 30-minute retest gives us something. All right, I think I'm just gonna take it here. 5-minute candle, 2337.7. I took a small entry. 5-minute candle. Based on the fact that the 1 hour can actually start flipping bullish here. Let me delete. I gotta delete a lot of this stuff on the micro gold chart. We definitely are late. Very late on this entry. There's a possibility that we come back down and retest this 30-minute imbalance. But there also is a possibility that we do just continue from where we're at, which is why I only took about $50 entry to give us room just in case we actually do continue. And also we can scale in. Our execution was pretty clean. No spread, no slippage. I just want to see this 15-minute candle come out and start printing a little bit more bullish. A lot of volatility is going to have to come in, and understand that this is definitely a higher risk entry. So I'm not putting a lot of contracts on this exact position right here. Great Britain pound is already running, so I wouldn't be surprised if gold just starts making a move right here. I'm telling you guys, I do see the fact that it was actually slightly before 8 a.m. was that entry. But just be aware, guys. Just be aware. Right after you see 1 hour engulfings like this, we should have just took it right here as well. Like right at that 1 hour. We could have just played that 1 hour candle. You know how there's a 1 hour candle right there? That's technically a 1 hour live OB. Just like how we look for the engulfing candle to close on higher volume. Yes, XAU USD is micro gold. Micro gold. XAU USD. I'll type it out on the screen. XAU USD on the future side is actually GC. It actually equals GC1. The thing is, it does take a little bit more money to trade GC1. So what I like to do is I like to trade micro gold MGC1. So right now I'm trading MGC1. It allowed me to put 3 contracts on this trade with only a $50 risk. But as you guys can see, I'm almost up just that if we can break these highs. So it allows me to put more contracts and leverage more with the micro contracts. So just because futures requires more money doesn't mean you can't still pull it off. I pulled off a lot of stunts with a little bit of money. I remember when I first started trading, I started trading with $50, $100 in my accounts over and over again. And when it comes down to it, again, it's all about time in the market, not timing the market. During those periods where I was losing, I can agree that I was majority trying to find the best time to get in the market. When I stopped focusing on that and I started focusing on more time in the markets and consistently contributing and putting on time and risk, with time, my growth eventually started looking like this as well. So gold is pushing a little bit. I'm glad we did take the entry right over here. XAU USD is GC1. Micro gold is just the futures side. Micro gold is just futures. If you're trading gold on Forex, then it's XAU USD. If you're on Trade Locker, Forex Broker, it's XAU USD. So stick to XAU USD. The chart looks the exact same for micro gold and XAU USD. They're the same thing, it's just a different contract you're trading. If I keep switching back and forth between XAU USD and micro gold, they look the exact same. So just know the equivalence. XAU USD is micro gold and micro gold is XAU USD. They're the same. So if we're trading gold, you should be in XAU USD. If you're on the Forex side, if you're on the future side, you should be on GC1 or MGC. XAU USD, as you guys can see right here. This is the Forex side of it. Future side, GC1. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? My brother Glow in the chat. How you feeling? How you feeling? Looking at any setups this morning? Let me know. Let me know. Again, I do just kind of want to let you guys know, anybody that was inside of the premium got access to this trade way before time. And we are up on this gold setup. If you're up on gold with me, drop a $sign in the chat. With Trade Locker, it's XAU USD once again. Gold is XAU USD. Who's in profit with me though? Drop a $sign in the chat. I need to see gold break 23.41. Hell yeah. As soon as it breaks, we're gone, bro. We could have gotten heavier in if we would have seen this, or at least been up. Do you guys understand why sometimes you see like some traders are like so active, some traders are like ghost, and then they pop up out of nowhere at like a random time? Like, bro, this was that random time. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. was your entry. How many of you guys were up at 7 a.m. looking at the charts? Drop a 2 in the chat. If you weren't up at 7 a.m., drop a 1 in the chat. It's fine. It's fine if you weren't. It's fine if you weren't. Drop a 1 if you weren't. Drop a 2 if you were up and you were on the charts. I'm going to drop a 1 because I was not actually on the charts at 7. I was not on the charts at 7, so I was not able to catch the bottom. And sometimes it's okay to admit that you weren't on the charts. What are you supposed to do? Be on the charts 24/7? What are you supposed to do? Catch every single entry in the market? It's not possible, right? So that's why it's important to set these hours of operations for your trading and execute during your hours of operations. And to remain consistent during these hours of operations as well. I do want to see gold break. Like my boy said in the chat, if we can see gold break, that would be great. I really just want to see this 1 hour candle close bullish. This 1 hour candle has about 25 minutes left on it. And if this 1 hour candle, 10 o'clock candle, can come out with some volatility towards the upside, we can have a really, really good entry here on gold, especially seeing obviously gold and other pairs do actually move a little bit different. But GU was one of the pairs that we were looking at, has already actually went ahead and broke through highs. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see XAU USD, gold, GC1 actually go ahead and do the same. The dollar right now is at a point where it's retesting. Dollar is definitely at a point that it's retesting, and I do believe that the DXY will continue falling. Let's check out the volume. Honestly, it's not really showing me anything volume. It did just form a 5-minute engulfing candle. It's something to be aware of, right? Even though we are heavily bearish the dollar, always something can come in. We just swept some liquidity and we just formed a 5-minute candle. So that does concern me a bit, because now we could start to reverse. And whenever we see 5-minute candle come in like that, a lot of times it does like to start to reverse. The 15-minute candle would give us a better outlook, because if the 15-minute candle closes at that point, we'll definitely be seeing more of that bullish dollar. So I'm very curious to see as to how it reacts here. We'll sit here and watch it. That's a fact. I will be up now at 7 because money is better than sleep. That's how I feel as well. Huh. With the dollar now retracing back down, honestly, this entry is looking like it might actually retest down one more time. We gave ourselves room. We did give ourselves room just in case that something like this happened. I'm gonna continue to let it ride out though. I'm not gonna exit. But it's just good to see how it's playing around. It's definitely good to see. GBP USD playing around as well. We're gonna let it stick. We're gonna stick with our bias. Dollar buys from here. I wouldn't really like enter off of it, but I see the possibility. Especially since we just broke highs. Everything is based off of if the market can continue. So let's see. We're going to give it some time. We're not going to really touch. As you guys can see, we came and draw down a little bit on the position. But it's all about having that risk management, because if we would have over leveraged, I probably would have ended up getting out. But I do want to actually see how this thing plays out. I do actually want to see gold continue towards the upside still. I know a lot of these might be fake outs, so trying to remain in my long-term direction. The 5-minute candle that just closed did just close as an engulfing. Let me get back the music. I don't know what happened. Let's wait it out. Let's wait it out, family. Nothing else we could do but just wait it out. Ain't nothing else we could do. Do I trade patterns? The only patterns I focus on are Wyckoff patterns, right? They are not really patterns, but they're actual like schematics. So there are a lot more patterns that I do look at, but for the most part, I focus on that. So I don't want to. I'll go over it in a second, but the Wyckoff patterns, right? That's my main focus right now, and it actually has been for a minute. So we've got 15 minutes left on this 30-minute candle. So we did just sweep this candle here on the dollar. It is not too late to get in the trade. It is not too late. Understand how close we are to the stop. It is a small stop. Our stop loss is at 2337.7. It's about very, very close to the stop. So if you're entering on a position like this, understand the stop loss is right below the low that we're currently at. So when it comes down to it, it could really just spike this low, or we can continue at any time. So if you're entering on a trade setup like this, you don't want to put too heavy risk. You want to just put a small risk, small stop loss, and see if we can get that reaction. It's not looking like we're getting a reaction, but we're going to hold it out. Okay, so at this point, I think I really wanted my stop lower. I didn't want my stop there. I didn't want my stop there because we didn't even break the low. I actually want to get back in if we react here. I'm still bullish this pair. We have 15 minutes left on the 1 hour. Still looking for that continuation. Let's see. So that is my stop pretty much filled, and I'm out of that position. It's fine. That's why I went low risk, because there is a possibility still of that entry here at this 30-minute imbalance. Let's look at GU. GU just closed as a 15-minute engulfing as well. Looks like it's retesting like all the way. I'm not sure. These pairs are retesting like crazy. trying to remain bearish. Seeing this 30-minute, 15-minute close like this. These are all retracements that I will be trying to get in on trades. So we're not in that original position, but we are looking for a new position at this point in time. Just an update on gold. If you look at the 1 hour, oh, my computer froze. Here we go. If you look at the 1 hour, this looks like a great setup. I don't know what's stopping me from taking this even. Some people might just start buying the dollar from right here. For me, looking at how we came out with core retail sales lower and seeing how unemployment claims is actually coming out lower as well, it's tough for me to want to go bullish the dollar. It's very tough for me to want to go bullish the dollar right now. All right, gold is starting to react now. I'm not going to lie. After seeing this, I do have to go ahead and scout an entry. On GU, I'm a little skeptical because on the 1 hour we didn't actually break above, so it could be just a fake out. I'm actually just gonna end up taking gold one more time with the same risk. Looks like it's going to follow through right over here. Just letting you guys know I am executing. It's about the same risk as well. The same risk. Stop below the low. 3 contracts. Keeping the risk constant. I do believe a follow through is coming through on gold. GBP USD as well. I do want to see a follow through. Micro gold XAU USD is starting to move, so I don't want to actually miss this one. There we go. We got our push here. We are in. Once again, patience is key. Patience is key. This 1 hour candle does have 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left. So dependent on how this 1 hour candle closes will definitely give us a better consensus as to if gold will continue up for the rest of the day. After seeing GBP USD drop like that, I wouldn't be surprised if gold keeps playing with us over here. But we shall see. Gold is different than GU. They don't move the same, and they don't move exactly with the dollar. So even though the dollar just did some funny stuff, actually just came back and went bullish right over here, it's possible that holds. But gold is different. Gold is a different story. I still do want to see this thing continue. GU could do what it wants. It's always following the dollar a lot more closely. It's also possible that that bullish dollar strength now comes in and we start selling gold. That's also a possibility. I do want to keep that in mind. So if we don't break this high over here, gold could really gold could really start selling off, but we want to still keep this directional bias that we've been having. I wouldn't be surprised now that we've swiped this lone candle on GU, and now that we've retested this 1 hour, that we now start going up. Honestly, if you guys haven't gotten in entries on GU, now is probably the time, because we did actually retest one last time. I think maybe this was the entry, if I'm not mistaken. Nice little retest too. I could have got in on here. I think where I would run my risk is probably below here. Yeah, guys, gold. We've got 5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. And at this point, we don't want to give up on the idea entirely, but we are still holding through this thing that's not in the money. And if it's not in the money too long, we always want our trades to be in the money pretty fast. What does in the money mean? In the money means it should go in profit enough for us to go break even pretty fast. Right now, it's taking a long time to go up. So seeing our trade stall out this much is not a good sign. It's most likely a sign that we are going to break out in one direction. It's either going to be direction is going to be the upside, or we break out towards the downside. And seeing how the dollar is now starting to go bullish, we do have to react here and start going back bearish if gold wants to continue towards the upside. So keep that in mind. This is all factored off of the dollar. It's a lot of nasty retracements going on right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if gold retraces a little bit more, guys. Honestly. Got 2 minutes left on the 15-minute. I don't think this was a good enough entry. Yeah, we definitely caught a terrible entry. And we're out. Honestly, we are out. That's 2 attempts. And I'm going to kind of just wait it out and not really enter quite yet until we get a solid confirmation. It is getting closer to 11 o'clock. So the markets may slow down around now. I just don't want to make sure we miss anything. So understand if we do, it won't be too much because it is closer to 11. I don't want to execute outside of 11 o'clock because that means we might have to hold even longer on that setup. Technically, if we break here, it's done. I don't think we break here. But if we do, then it pretty much is done. We could have seen this dollar going to the upside and actually sold. There is a possibility that we do start selling off here. The 15-minute candle did give an engulfing on higher volume. So I do just want to pay attention to that. Looks like we're still bullish though. I'm not going to lie. Looks like we're still bullish. So whenever I'm in a state where it's just like in consolidation like this, it looks like it's bullish, looks like it's bearish, I think I'm just going to stay out, especially since we already took the 2 attempts. It's a possibility that we just came up just to sell down. That is a possibility as well. I really don't want to start selling from here. I do want to continue in that bullish direction. But we probably do stick here. As long as we don't break this low, this is low-key still valid. Let's continue to watch it. Again, We don't want to force anything. GBP USD. Looking like it's starting to fade this. If you were looking for entries, now is probably the time to do so. I think gold is getting ready. The entries I'm more sure of. I definitely am like looking to scale on more risk onto when it comes down to it. So keep that in mind. Like I'm going light risks on certain things. Okay. GBP USD. I think I want to just take an entry here just to micro 6B. I'm not going to force it, but I want to take a position on either gold or GU. Whichever one gives me like that solid reaction. The 5-minute candle is kind of weak, but I believe it has potential. I do believe this has potential. Do I think we just sell off? Possibly. Possibly as well. Let me fix back this music real quick. My bad, my bad. Do I trade patterns? I need to see gold break. Yep. I mean, gold is consolidating at this point. So if you weren't in earlier, I think the sell is starting to play out now. It is unfortunate. We did miss a lot of setups. Number one, we missed GBP USD over here. You guys saw it happen live in front of us. Technically, we could have took this in hindsight. It's always, in hindsight, you can always say like, damn, we could have took this. But that was counter trend to me. Whenever you see things like that are counter trend, it's tough because you have to really, really take it right then in the time. We did not take this setup right here though. Did anybody take the gold sell? It's looking like gold and GU are probably going to sell off the rest of the day, man. That was the entry on the dollar. And after seeing that 1 hour candle close like this, the volatility has came in crazy. I'm not going to fade this, guys. I'm not going to keep trying to buy gold. Since it is 11 o'clock, we do have to just live with the fact that, number one, This was our entry. We could have took that at the 15-minute. Looking at that engulfing, we should have been paying attention a little bit further to the dollar, seeing how it reacted towards the upside. Gold was that entry towards the sell side. So this was also a low risk stab. Could have also been a low risk entry. If we were paying attention more and we had our bias aligned with the dollar, then yeah, we would have been in this gold sell. It's always better to look in at hindsight. Same with GBP USD. It wasn't volume confirmed. This one wasn't as volume confirmed. This one happened first, right? This one actually did happen first. So when it comes down to it, that one would have been your entry. This just happened right in front of us. So I'm not going to be entering more and more. Honestly, there is a possibility that we do actually start to rebound here. You look at the chart, definitely a possibility that we start to rebound here. The 1 hour did just close as an engulfing. I'm just not really going to be in the business of stabbing this all day. We took so many we took like two, right? Two entries to the upside. They didn't really play out. Sometimes you have to look back and be like, damn, we could have took the downside entry. It is what it is. It's a good thing to study your wins, and it's also a good thing to study your losses, because my wins, what I see for the most part, were in the money pretty fast, and we get to move our break-even stops pretty fast, right? One example of that was GBP USD yesterday, right? That was a winning setup. That is actually still in the money. Those trades that go in the money tend to usually stay in the money if they're a good setup. So don't sweat it at all. Don't sweat it at all if you're not in the money right now. Being in the money is different than being consistent. Being consistent gets you in the money. Being in the money doesn't get you consistent. Know the difference, understand the difference, and consistency is key when it comes down to it. So we'll catch our next entry, guys. It's only Tuesday. Literally is only Tuesday. I don't want to overtrade. So I want to catch you guys in the next stream. Hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. You guys are feeling blessed. If you guys are feeling grateful, drop a 333 in the chat. Let's go ahead and end this stream off on a positive note. We should be out for the most part. There's a possibility that these things do start to go up from now. I'm going to be honest. But I'm not over trading. Now would be a good entry. I'm not going to lie. But sometimes you have to have that discipline. If you have that entry and you're like, damn, I need to get in, this is why you end up losing your entire account. Study the past, study your strategy, backtest. If the 5-minute candle closes as an engulfing, there's a possibility of a re-entry. So I don't want to just leave you guys off. Just definitely monitor it. Definitely monitor what happens here. Definitely monitor what happens here. But don't force anything. Don't force anything. We're not going to force anything. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you guys for dropping love in the chat. Marcus, Self Love, Glow. Hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. And I'll see you guys at the top or from the top, because you guys already know